And welcome to Ms. Gimbel's classroom. Today I want to talk about using self-explanation effectively in your own classrooms. Now, intuitively, as a teacher, it may seem logical to tell your students to explain what they're working on. However, if you look at the research, it's actually a little bit more complex than that. Self-explanation can be a very strong tool, but can also be used badly and are shown that students don't get learning outcomes from it. So let's talk about what we need in order to ensure students are using self-explanation effectively in your classroom. There are 4 things that self-explanation needs to have in order to ensure that it's being used effectively. Firstly, self-explanation is effective for students to recall general principles. It is not good to be used to recall facts. So if you're having students try to explain the facts that they've memorized, don't use that. Secondly, students are not intuitively ready to self-explain. No matter what grade level you teach, you want to train your students on what a good self-explanation looks like, and also prompt your students to work out correct examples. It is not helpful if a student is explaining their work and their work is incorrect. That is just going to make the student more confused and then remember that incorrect work. So if you're training your students, make sure you're training them using correct examples, either from a template or an example, or something that they've worked out and you've identified as correct already. Finally, if a student does have some amount of practice with the content, having them either identify if prompts or self-explanations are correct or incorrect are shown to be an effective way in order to help them gain a deeper understanding of the topic. Now let's talk about using some tools online and in person in order to ensure that you're using self-explanation effectively in your classroom. I'm going to start by showing you the writing rubric that we use at my school. We developed this as a math department to ensure that students are self-explaining effectively and actually know the expectations we want from their explanations. As you can see, we've broken a self-explanation into all these different categories. We made it as specific as possible so students know exactly what we expect from them, but also if we take off points, the student knows exactly what they've done wrong. For example, if they get a 2 instead of a 3 on computation, it's because they had the correct answer but forgot to put the units. This is incredibly important because it helps train students to know what is a good self-explanation and what is something that could use some work. You can also use this to have them grade each other once they've gotten some understanding of the topic and identify what is a correct self-explanation, what is an incorrect self-explanation. Now, if your students need a little bit more practice, we've created this template as well, and I'm going to link these documents in the comments below for you to check out and use in your own classrooms. This open-ended question template allows the student to break down each part. It prompts them to self-explain. Each part of the question can be answered independently. So first we ask, what does the question ask you to solve or find? Then a student chooses a strategy or can put one of their own. And finally, they identify their final answers and explain whether or not it makes sense. Once they've done that, they're going to explain what steps they used to solve the problem. Breaking down the self-explanation and prompting each part of it will help the student gain a better understanding of what we expect in order to ensure a greater self-explanation. Now let's hop along to my favorite online tool to ensure students are explaining themselves. The tool I like to use is called GoFormative.com. There's a free version and a premium version, and I actually have the premium version, but the free version works just as well and in a very similar manner. As you can see, I've sorted all of my classwork into different folders. When I click on the folder, I can see all of the formatives I created, and I can create a new formative by clicking on New Formative. I put my title here. I add my questions by clicking the blue button. I can choose some types of questions. For self-explanation questions, I like to click the free response to show your work, or the audio response is always fun to have students record themselves and explain what they've done. Or if you're looking for some easy questions or some already written open-ended prompts, you can click on the library. As you can see, I was teaching SOHCAHTOA, so that was my most recent church. I'm going to quickly, in my last 30 seconds, show you an example of what a GoFormative looks like. This is a formative I gave my students on 4:30. If you click on totals, you can see students who've completed it, students who've just logged in, students who submitted it, and if you clicked on a question, you can scroll down, see their answers, and see their reasons. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully it was helpful. Watch some more of my videos you can see below, and like and subscribe to my